I can see how that's a thing.
Yeah.
Now let's go to the replies. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
What do you know? Full conversation. Now I feel like I'm up to speed. What is up, everybody? Welcome to the DNVR Nuggets podcast.
Let's go.
Presented by Bet365. Download the Bet365 app. Use the code DNVR365. Choose your offer. Find out why. There it is. Whatever the moment. It's never ordinary at Bet365. We're also in the Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores. Toyota, the official vehicle of DNVR. Hop in the Toyota chat. Full week of off-season shows outside of Thursday.
Whoa, off-season shows.
Or I'm sorry, of off-day shows.
Yes.
Off-day shows. Well, it is the in-season tournament season.
Is this the
of which we are not a part.
portion of the in-tournament or in-season tournament?
It's the off-season portion of the dog days.
So now that the dust has settled, where are we at on the tournament? It's
Well,
bad
it doesn't
again.
matter.
It's
It
bad
doesn't
again.
matter.
I've said this. I've come fully around on the in-season tournament. It's good.
I had until the Nuggets got eliminated.
Same. Now I'm out
Now
again.
I'm out.
No,
It just
I'm
doesn't
kind
mean
of
anything.
in now.
I will be honest, because the games are on Tuesday and Wednesday, and I was just looking at the first round of games, at least in the East. The West, I'm interested in. In the East, I'm like Heat Magic, Raptors Knicks.
Bro,
I'm like,
it's,
all right.
it's the East.
It
Come
is-
on.
The East, people are not talking
You
enough.
can't escape it.
The East is so mid. They're not bad. It's just mid. You go through all of them, and you're like, yeah, they could win the East. They're not that good, but they could win it.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was an
Including
NBA Cup
Boston.
hater for a while, but I got to give Mr. Silver, the commissioner, his due.
Well,
It's fun.
That's him.
Until the Nuggets get eliminated every year. That part's starting to bum me out.
Yeah, but we have this like week without games other than Thursday's game against the Kings, which only is half a game, really, if you think about it. But it's nice for us to step back. I mean, it's just like the third mark of the season, quarter mark of the season somewhere. And so there's a lot to get to. That's kind of like we've put on the back burner, bringing it to the front burner tonight. Who better to talk about all those things than Brendan Vogt?
What's up, guys? Absolutely. I was so careful with my
Really good
tea
lid?
today. Yeah, and I walked on the sunny side of the sidewalk. No ice, no accidents. This was my first shirt choice of the day.
Is it coffee? I thought you were a tea guy.
No, it's
now.
tea. It's tea. It's tea with a little cream in there. Soy.
You brought me onto that. Well, this is the most. That is the performative male's drink, though, right? Tea with soy milk.
It might be. It's definitely
with soy milk?
It's the recently discovered lactose intolerance drink for sure.
Oh, shit.
So
okay.
that's
I think we're all lactose intolerant.
Yeah.
I think that's
we're
what
all,
I've like
we all
aged.
can't eat gluten, but
No, I'm just saying. I think as you grow up, it's the whole. I had some milk. I'm feeling a little whatever, and you're like, yeah, we're not supposed to have
we're
that.
definitely not. And I hit a breaking point, and it's been a real change in quality of life for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
you're
yeah.
looking great. So
Thanks,
you're onto
bud. Nice.
something.
Yeah.
Harrison Wind over here, still drinking milk.
oh man, still drinking milk, still drinking coffee every day, just in a terrible routine right now.
Me too.
How's your
man.
stomach?
The worst state of my life right now.
Hell yeah, guys. That's so
Anyway,
cool.
we're proud of you. We're
Yeah,
happy
thanks.
for you.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
awesome.
Roll
like
up
you
to
got it going.
Starbucks this morning, venti Americano, just give it to me. I need it.
Well, we got to start with our top story today, which is honestly, I'm a little surprised. I did not even think about this.
Yeah.
We were building up towards Jokic's player of the weeks. Remember how excited
Yes,
we were?
that's
Like, it's a
right.
lock. I didn't even think that Jamal Murray might be, but Jamal Murray was just announced
Yes.
just within the last hour as player of the week in the Western Conference. 30 points or 29.5 points, something else.
29.8 points, 59.5% from the field. So we can just say 30 points, 60% from the field, 62% from three
That's a big
on
number.
7.3 attempts per game, 93% from the line. All right. 7.5 assists, 4.5 rebounds per game. And of course, had the 52-point game. And last night, too.
Yep.
This is a big deal, man. Jamal Murray, it's his first ever Player of the Week award. And I put this on Twitter, but it's sort of, it's cool how it worked out. Because what did Jamal Murray promise when he was coming into the season this year?
Good November.
I'm going to have a great, November
Yeah.
and October combined. He said that those were the months. Here we are in the first week of December, Player of the Week.
It's almost like that approach, the initially outlined approach, is what begets success, right?
So
a really
true.
consistent year. And he said he was focused on the right things. It's looked like he's been focused on the right things. And boy, is he producing. And you think about his last week, and spoiler alert, working on it now, he will be your Nugget of the Week. 52 points, a 23-point quarter, which ties his career high. The blue arrow comes back, and the first ever Player of the Week award of his
That's
career.
right. The blue arrow did come back.
Is he
this-
for sure your Nugget of the Week?
Oh yeah,
Absolutely 100%.
he's absolutely
Okay,
100%
okay.
the
Because
Nugget.
we were just talking about this before the show.
I can't believe you're going this route.
I mean, Jamal Murray, well-deserved player.
He's the player of the week for the Nuggets.
Well-deserved.
He's the player of the
52
week.
points. Like, he was a monster this week. Nikola Jokic did average more points, rebounds, and assists this last week, though.
Worth noting, probably worth noting.
Jokic is coming off a week where he averaged,
31, I think.
a triple-double, of course.
11 and 11, yeah.
Specifically, it was 30, 11 and a half, and 11.3.
You know, the strong counter.
But well-deserved. Absolutely
Well,
well-deserved.
it's like
for
the
Jamal.
game balls, right? Like at a certain point, you take your excuses to
Yeah.
give them to not Jokic. Look, Jokic could be your nugget of the week any given week. But I think, like we joke about the year of Jamal Murray. This was the week of Jamal Murray, man.
Yeah,
it really,
really
was.
was.
For sure.
And so,
For sure.
and just cool to see, like you guys said, him really kind of seizing the reins this early.
I think to your point, though, I wouldn't even go that way where it's like, yeah, Yoke was the best player, but we've given it to him 5 times. Let's give it over here. I think Murray was the best Nugget this week
Agreed.
because like Yoke did put up a 40 piece. He was a minus 15 in that game. Not that he was bad, but Jamal Murray, his 50-point game was the reason they won that game. He's come out with some big plays, including in the clutch. He did a good job in that 40-point game, as we commented on. Pocket passes, he had 12 assists that game. And a lot of them where Yoke has it going, how do I set the table for him? So I think it's a big deal, though. And I love your take on it. I think it's actually the exact right take, which is I don't know if he gets this, if he has the same October, November that he always has, and then a big December. I think this is everyone understands that he is moving different, playing different, and then his peaks are so high. This to me is kind of a big deal. It's a big deal that he was able to win a player of the week and deservedly so. And it just gets me so excited for the rest of December.
Builds the hype, right, around something we've been talking about, joking about. Can he, will he be, should he be an all-star for the first time this year? And like, so, okay, he had that good October. He had that good November. Everyone noticed. He had that week. He gets player of the week.
Yeah.
You know, the Nuggets right now, depending on how this week goes, could finish in second place. They're tied for second place in the Western Conference right now with the best offense in the league. Like there's momentum here, right? Behind understanding Jamal Murray as a guy who's delivering in the regular season and maybe does deserve that all-star spot.
We're also so numb to just stats, just watching and covering and talking about Nikola Jokic for his whole career.
Very true.
I feel like we're not really giving, Jamal's just straight numbers their due
Yeah.
because he's averaging 25 points a game for the season.
It's a lot.
20th most. He's top 20 in scoring. He's averaging the same points per game as Kevin Durant.
Yeah.
They're both averaging 25 a game. He's averaging more or about the same per game as Devin Booker. So he's scoring with these guys that you look at and you're like, that's a true scorer. That's a true bucket getter.
Yeah.
Jamal's scoring the same amount of points per game as these guys. He's doing it on a crazy efficiency. He's pretty much at 50, 40, 90 for the season as well,
Yep.
which I know has always been a goal of his to finish the season 50, 40, 90. And he's had the highs that anybody in the league has had, 52 points. There's also another crazy stat about his season. Did you guys know there are 4 players that are currently averaging 25 points per game and shooting 50% from the floor and 40% from 3?
I would guess
4 players.
Jokic is one of them.
Jokic is one of them.
He's just on every list, so you just start there.
Start there.
It's Jokic, SGA, Giannis
40% from 3, Giannis.
on very low attempts.
He's like 10 of 20 or something this year.
and Jamal Murray.
Wow.
25 points per game on 50-40 splits.
I love that stat because we've been talking about on this show the uptick in both volume, but then also efficiency from 3 is like a sneaky part of unlocking the all-star tier of his regular season, kind of ceiling. Like he's been a talented, particularly pull-up shooter, but never been a prolific 3-point shooter in this league. This year so far, he has been just that. And in addition to minutes alongside better players on the second unit, being in shape, it's just made him that much better of a point guard in the modern NBA. And it's been really cool to watch.
What's funny is, to your point, though, about this being the reward, the spoils of the hard work that you put in before this. If you remember last year, when he came into the year and was asked about being an all-star, about this, that's when he gave the quote about, you guys know what I do in the playoffs.
Yep.
I'll be ready in the playoffs. And it was almost like he was saying, I don't really care about the all-star game, whatever. And so it's kind of nice for him to be getting these accolades of like, yeah, but whatever you feel about it, this is cool. Like you are now elevating the team in a very meaningful way. Another stat that nobody knew. In fact, I only saw it tweeted 2 places. One was from Altitude and one was from DNVR Nuggets, that this is the hottest start in Nuggets franchise history. Now it is a 23 game sample size, which is always like, okay, it's a fake stat.
Right. Like when does the start stop?
Exactly. This is the best first 23 games the Nuggets have ever had. And it's important as we go to the hangover takes here, Dion, you can go ahead and punch us through. As we go to the hangover takes, I have to give a personal mea culpa for last night. I was pretty tired. I've been grinding a lot.
We've all been grinding.
We've all been grinding, man. We had some late nights, early morning. I got up and ran on Sunday. I was just tired.
You're running?
And I wonder, well, I mean basketball.
Oh, okay.
Played horribly.
He really enjoyed it. He feels great.
Yeah, I felt horrible afterwards. And I was in a bad mood. And then the Nuggets came out and gave what was something of a nondescript game. And I still think that's the case. But as somebody in the comments made a comment, sometimes, everybody will complain. Every show there's somebody that's, this one, I think they had a point. Murray had a record 23 points in the first quarter. This game is not one we'll forget. We might forget how the game unfolded in quarters 2, 3, and 4 and some of the details. But it is one of those things where it's like that first quarter for Jamal meant something. 23 points, his ability to have a double Murray flurry in one quarter is something meaningful. And I do think that, as you kind of think about the game and rewatch the highlights of the game, it's like that was a special moment for the Nuggets.
Yeah, it's just symbolic of his season so far. I mean, he's had a bunch of these, not 23 points in a quarter, obviously, but he's had moments that you're like, man, he's taken a leap. He's taken a October, November, December leap, from where he's been in years past for sure. And it's exactly what we called for. And it's exactly what he said he wanted to do. And he's followed through on it. But I mean, that mode he was in last night, and again, he's been in this mode at times these first the first portion of the season. He looks like playoff Murray. Like this is the guy that we've seen take over games and look unstoppable in the playoffs, in the finals, in game 7s. That's who he's been in these moments so far.
And in that game last night, that was a game where, look, the Nuggets honestly didn't bring their best effort to the table. It was a fine win. Like, they were in control by the fourth quarter. They won by a fine margin. But it's the kind of game where you go, is that the road game where the streak ends if Murray isn't exactly as ready to go as he was?
Maybe.
And it has felt like on more than one occasion this year where in other Novembers, Decembers, where they might stall out, their second star has been ready to be just that. And it has helped raise the floor and the ceiling of this group.
We're also going to have to go to a conspiracy corner. I don't know if you have this one here, Dion. Kale out with bronchitis, by the way.
Is that the conspiracy?
No.
Oh.
But I was
wondering
I'm
if
his
son's lost or something.
Well,
Conspiracy
luckily, we
corner.
haven't been around him.
Vote, have you been perusing the Nuggets social media account lately, their Twitter account? Have you just been seeing what they've been having to say?
I've seen a couple of cool tweets, but I haven't been locked in.
What have they been about?
I saw a cool one about the win percentage graphic in Atlanta. That was funny. That made me laugh.
Here are their last media reports or media posts. Jamal Murray player of the week, understandable.
Sure.
Jamal Murray highlight reel, understandable. Jamal Murray stat. Jamal Murray graphic. Peyton Watson. Jamal Murray highlight. Jamal Murray in the tunnel. Jamal Murray highlight. Clip of David Adelman talking. Jokic and Murray.
Okay.
A graphic of the team's win streak.
Okay.
Jamal Murray. You're sensing a theme here. There's a lot of Jamal Murray push being going on right by the Nuggets right now, and rightfully so. He's playing great, so it's not like it's anything out of pocket. But it made me wonder, Jokic hasn't been shooting a lot lately, especially early in games. He's been slow. There's this huge push. Do you think there is a collective thing going on right now with the Nuggets for let's get Jamal, everybody talking about Jamal, because it's about that time when we want to make sure everybody understands?
Is that
conspiracy, guys?
Is that push happening from the social media team? Is that purposeful?
I'm saying
absolutely. That's not even a conspiracy. That's stuff that happens.
But
normally.
how deep does it go?
Right.
How deep does it go? Does it go all the way to Jokic? I'm gonna say no. Does it go as deep as David Adelman? Maybe.
Running more stuff for Jamal?
Maybe.
I don't know.
That's plausible. That's plausible.
See, it's more plausible to me that Yoke would be like, Jamal seems very aggressive right now. I'm going to kind of step back.
I mean, like in the moment, I think Yoke will sense that. But is Yoke actively in a game trying to get Jamal Murray to the All-Star game? I don't think it runs that deep. It could run pretty deep though.
But he could absolutely be going, I don't have to do it tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.
Give the
I
ball
mean,
to
good
him over
point
there.
from J.K. Walrus in the Toyota chat. Are CB and Aaron Gordon even injured?
Man,
Right. It's a great
how
point.
deep does it go?
How deep
Are
does
they
it go?
just
How deep
stepping
does it go?
aside to give Jamal more opportunities?
Well, who is the iconic player in those black rainbow skylines? Who do we remember from the bubble?
It was Jamal.
Did they bring him back just for Jamal?
They've been running them a lot, even on the road where they're more likely to win.
Oh, wow. Wow. I didn't even think. I mean, that goes to a league level, I feel like.
This
Yeah.
is why it's
Adam
conspiracy
Silver?
corner, man. Adam Silver.
Wait,
all
why
in
was
on it.
Adam Silver in attendance at Nuggets
Now,
Pacers?
now you're talking. Now
Man,
you're talking.
Random
dude.
game in Indiana?
He had a
Wow.
lot of points that game, if I recall.
Jamal Star agenda conspiracy is fully off the ground.
You know what? This is what we provide here. Nobody else would provide this. Let's take
That's
our
right.
first break. On the other side, I want to power rank the Western Conference. We haven't been able to step back and look at the league right now. Are the Nuggets the second best team in the West? Are we sure about that? Let's debate it on the other side.
All right, if you're looking for a gift for the holiday season, maybe it's a Christmas gift for family, friends, grandparents, check out Aura Frames. It's the best gift out there. I guarantee you, if you give this to a grandparent, they're going to love it. You can preload Aura Frames with photos straight from your phone, load them up on there, choose exactly what you want on the frame, and it cycles through. So, your grandparents, your parents, this is a gift they're really going to enjoy. Again, you can upload them right from your phone. You can preload photos and videos as well before it ships, personalize it, and there's even a gift box included when you buy something from Aura Frames. For a limited time only, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames, named #1 by Wirecutter. You got to use the promo code DNVR, though, at checkout. auraframes.com, promo code DNVR. Got to get on this deal. They're going to sell out fast. Order yours now to get it in time for the holiday. Support our show. Mention us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Also, shout out to our friends over at Fire on the Mountain. The best wings in Denver. Best wings around. Fire on the Mountain, Denver's favorite local wing joint. Featuring hormone-free, antibiotic-free, cage-free wings. They've got 15 super flavorful, made-from-scratch sauces, mild to insanely hot, everything in between. They've also got an incredible craft beer and killer cocktail list as well. $5 beers on Mondays, that's today. Happy hour all day Tuesdays, that's tomorrow. Food, drinks, they got all you need. Wagyu beef burgers as well. Grab $5 pints on Mondays, all day happy hour Tuesdays. They now offer delivery from their Wash Park location as well. Make sure to try the best wings in Denver at the DNVR Broncos tailgates. We got one coming up this weekend on Sunday. You can also visit their spots in the Highlands and Wash Park. Check it out. Fire on the Mountain, the best wings around. Awesome food as well. 15 different flavors. Check them out.
Great job, Win. Good job.
Really
That
good, dude.
live read. That was
Really
perfect.
good, yeah.
Back here, segment 2. Let's get into power ranking the Western Conference. This is really where we're at. 23 games is now a good enough sample size. And before we get into this, I thought the Thunder were going to be the 1 seed. The fact that they could very easily have been undefeated right now, as it is, they're 23-1. They won by 30 points last night despite being down 6.
They're not even trying.
They're not even trying, man. They're not even trying. Also, Utah's not that bad. They're not that bad.
Right.
Utah, of all teams,
I'm penciling in a loss at Utah for the Nuggets coming up.
there's only one team tanking harder right now than the Utah Jazz. That's Washington. They are openly just trying to lose and succeeding at it. Utah could win. They have to be very careful. So when they lose by 30 points at home, I'm just like, man, this Utah team, very, very fishy what's going on with them right now. But the West, my note on the West is I kind of thought it was Oklahoma City, Denver, some chuckleheads trying to punch up and get into that group, and then a bunch in the middle. I actually think the middle class of the Western Conference is well below what I thought, but largely because some of these teams have punched up into a higher category. Does the West feel more competitive than what you thought, Wind, coming into the year?
I'm going to say no, just because the top of the West doesn't feel as strong as it did last year or the year before necessarily.
Really? The Thunder were the top of the West. This year they look significantly better.
Right. Yeah, they are they are better. And then I feel like, you have like another tier, but then after that, there's a big drop off. Or I guess I'll say the middle of the West doesn't feel as strong to me as it was last year.
I feel like part of it is one of the Clippers, Warriors, or Mavs.
Yeah.
Like one of those three was supposed to be better than this, I think.
Well, they all were.
Right.
The Clippers were supposed to be contending for the top of the West. The Warriors were supposed to be right up there. The Mavs not up there, but the
Mavs might be good again,
territory.
The Mavs might actually be good. They just had a horrible first 15 games. They just beat the Rockets.
I know, but they're going to trade Davis and they're going to, that could be Ewing theory there, but
no, I just think Dallas is not a contender, but they are going to be tough. They're just going to if they climb all the way up to a 7 seed, I don't think that would be an easy first round matchup. It'd be
I think that's it. There were teams that were supposed to be in, the top couple tiers that are definitely not. And that's why I feel like it seems a little weaker.
Here's what I think. I think the Thunder are clearly the best team in the league, which means they're the best team in the Western Conference. I don't think they're unbeatable, but mostly just because I have a lot of faith in the Nuggets. But if the Nuggets were anything short of this, if this was last year's Nuggets, I'd be looking at this going, guys, what are we doing? We're fooling ourselves. This team is so good. I think the Nuggets are good enough. But Thunder, number one. Is there anybody want to make a crazy theory that they're not the best team in the West?
No. Come on.
All right. I didn't know if anybody had a hot... Here's what I'll say about the Thunder. I think last year we all appropriately said, yes, they're good, whatever, but they're beatable, and we were right. This year it's like, if you're going to beat that Thunder team, you're going to be near perfect.
Yep.
Because it takes near perfect to beat that Thunder team.
Yep.
After that is where things get different, because I thought it was Denver and Houston, probably in that order, and no one else. And I hate to say it, I think I have the Lakers in that tier now. I think the Nuggets, Rockets, and Lakers all, to me, look like legitimate teams. You can argue that the Lakers might fall off as their schedule gets a little tougher, but Luka, incredible. Can't guard him, including Denver. I worry about Denver's ability to guard him.
Sure.
Austin Reeves, having a career year, gets every call in the world, but is a legitimate, pretty consistent player, and he's putting up a crazy number. And then LeBron. LeBron last night had another great game for them. I just think that they have 3 players. They're going to have the best third player in every series, probably, and they'll probably have the best second or first player in a lot of series. And then the rest of their roster is okay. They don't guard, but I have the Lakers in the tier along with Denver. Do you?
So far, yes. They're a weird team insofar as, like LeBron came back and it was a weird start, like you said, but maybe he knocked the cobwebs off already. Reeves is having an incredible season. Does feel a little bit buoyed by some free throw shooting. Like how much does that translate in the playoffs? I'm going to say yes. The strongest counter about them is that as of right now, they're still middle of the pack with net rating.
Yeah.
They're even worse than Denver defensively, not quite as potent. But they have 3 guys who on any given night could put up, like 25 and 7 or much, much more. And Ayton, who is a fundamentally unserious player, is at least putting up numbers. They do produce. And I think you at least have to have them in that conversation. I don't think you can ignore their start.
We've just seen Luka Doncic do this with a team that's not that good, make it to the finals, because he is that difficult to guard as himself. And they haven't played enough games with their big 3 to really count them out. And I just look at it and say, whatever the numbers say, you can't stop Denver. Denver's going to score. It's just, are they going to score up here or up, A++ or just A-? What are they going to have? I think the Lakers fall into this category too, where you're not going to stop Luka, and if you somehow do, Austin Reeves can make you can punish you. And if you somehow stop him, LeBron also can go off. I think they're a legitimate, scary team in the Western Conference. I don't know. I would pick them to finish 4th of those teams.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's going to be a thing where Denver runs away from the Lakers in the standings by February. I think it's always going to be within a couple games.
The Reeves component is what I think their argument is to be in that tier, because it does seem like he's taken a leap. He's averaging 28 a game, which is just crazy.
Yeah.
And the free throws are insane. Those are going to go down in the playoffs, even though the Lakers still take more than anybody. I'm not fully buying them like you guys are, though. And the biggest reason why is their bench sucks. and it sucked at the beginning of the season. It sucks now. They're fully healthy now, and it still sucks. I just don't believe in anybody off that bench in a playoff series, not one player. And I don't believe in Ayton in the playoffs either. Hachimura, okay, like he's fine, but I just don't think they have the bodies and the overall talent to be in definitely, obviously, the Thunder tier, but even the Nuggets and Rockets tier.
They'll be interesting coming up, although I was looking at their schedule, and I still think they have like another month before their the schedule makers really built the Lakers hype machine for them. Especially if they win this tournament. It's like, hey, we need them to be really good early on so we can talk about them all year.
Something that's probably coming, though, is a Lakers, how the hell they pull that trade off at the deadline deal.
Well, this is what you were saying about their depth. You're like, I don't believe in Ayton. What if you traded Ayton for Giannis? Doesn't make sense, but it could happen.
I mean, sure.
It could happen.
Then I'd probably put them up a tier.
If they also throw in lottery pick Dalton Connect.
Oh, right. Man, what a great selection
basically,
that
it's a
was.
first-round
That Lakers
pick.
scouting department, man.
I know.
Just incredible.
It's so true. The Houston Rockets, though, also belong in here. They're 15-6. And to me, I think even though Denver beat them, Denver's going to play them twice in the next week. Next week. Not this week, but the following week, they'll play them twice. I still like Denver above them, but they are a team to me that has an identity. They have something that's really difficult to guard, something that's difficult to match up with. If you're a Houston Rockets fan, I don't think you look at it and say Denver's better than us. I think you say we're the same.
Yeah, I mean, for Houston, the edge is defensively. They're just a much better group than Denver is defensively so far, and that's why they're a slot ahead of the Nuggets in net rating. I think on offense, like that was one of the few clutch times that really went well for Denver, I think.
Yeah.
And part of it is I do think the Rockets are missing a point guard. You know, I think there's a difference between sort of how you manage your offense across 4 quarters, across 82 games, and crunch times, or this is a tight game, or this is the playoffs, and who's going to out-execute each other, you know, down the stretch. Like, not having a point guard, I think, really hurts them. But Thompson has made some version of growth or leap as a scorer. Kevin Durant has been a great acquisition for them. They didn't have to give up the farm to get him. They're absolutely firmly, to me, it's Thunder 1. I have Rockets, Nuggets in a tier battling out, and the Lakers as the team threatening to join that group.
I mean, I still have questions about the Rockets scoring in the clutch.
Yeah.
I don't really know how they've done this season. I mean, a small sample size for
now.
sure. But you have Durant. Yeah, go get a bucket. Okay. That can work. Şengün in the post. Other than that, I mean, how are they really manufacturing good offense at the end of games?
They're 10th. It is early. It's not like it's a huge sample size. They have just a lot of talent. They still have the ability to make a trade if they want to. It's almost like if you're rooting against Houston right now, as we are, you're almost hoping that they're just good enough to not think they need a trade. Rockets fans right now, I think, are all delusional because they haven't been through the slow build, the wins and losses, you know, where you go through it.
Well, and they got Durant, so maybe they are more inclined to make one.
Fans are not, though. I'm telling you,
Right.
fans view Durant as like, we're still on this 8-year timeline, and this is just the KD era. And I'm like, guys, timelines never go the way you think. They just never do. And you have a chance right now with a great team. If you can make yourself 3% better and you lose a first-round pick, what are you doing?
Right.
Of course you do it. Like, go for it. And I just wonder if they struggle, they might be more likely to do that. Whereas if they hover around the top 3 seed and right there, I wonder if the organization, not the fan base, the organization looks at it and says, we got enough. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, maybe. I just still have some questions about, like, they're shooting in the playoffs too. You know, are you going to play Amen Thompson, Anna Koji, like, and these centers? Are you going to be able to stretch the floor enough? What's the offense going to look like? I still have some questions.
Although, to be fair, if I'm a Rockets fan or podcaster, I'm pointing out that the Nuggets so far have been far worse in the clutch than the Rockets, even if that one game went Denver's way. You know, a lot of questions about Denver, too. I think we all kind of assume that in some way that will regress positively as a Jokic-led team to a much smarter and healthier offense in tight games.
I don't think another team belongs in that category. I think there's 4 teams. But first of all, 4 is a lot. That means every team is going to have a tough second-round matchup. Even the Thunder have to look at this and say if they play the Rockets, Nuggets, or Lakers in the second round, that's not a cakewalk. That's a difficult matchup. And then on top of that, there's probably no jockeying for seeding. You know, you probably want to avoid the 4 seed because you don't want to play Oklahoma City. They are the best of that. But if Denver's the 2 seed, Rockets, Lakers. I just look at both of those and like, man, both of them are tough. There's no easy out there. Both of them would be a really, really tough second round matchup.
Agree.
Then you get after that, and I think there's 2 teams in this next tier. We got to go to break. Yeah, we were at the break. All right, there's 2 more teams that I think are in this like fringe contender status that I have a blank spot. I'm waiting because they might be better than we think. We'll get to them on the other side.
Shout out to Game Time, best ticketing app out there. There are a lot of ticketing apps to choose from. Game Time is the only one that I've got on my phone. The best for concert shows, sporting events, and for the World Cup as well. For soccer, World Cup coming here next summer. Get your tickets on Game Time. Game Time is an absolute lifesaver, and you can use it to buy tickets to the World Cup. Coming back to North America for the first time since 1994. It's going to be absolutely massive, and it's a really hard ticket to get. Game Time, that's where they come in. You can track price drops in real time, get alerts when seats open up, grab tickets the moment they hit the app, all backed by the Game Time guarantee. So if you need tickets to the World Cup, concerts, shows, sporting events, Nuggets games, Avs games, Broncos games this weekend, take the guesswork out of buying soccer tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Swipe, tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today, the best ticketing app, the only one I've got on my phone. You open up Game Time, it tells you exactly the best deals right away. So really takes the guesswork out of buying tickets. Use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Also, shout out to Monarch. Look, I mean, I was somebody who was never good, in my 20s or so, managing finances. Never really put that much thought into it, but, you grow up, you get married, you have a kid, you have more responsibility. That's where Monarch comes in. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Right now, you can use code DNVR at monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year. 50% off your first year at monarch.com with the code DNVR. Monarch was named the best budgeting app of 2025 by the Wall Street Journal. It helps you manage your money better. It helps you stay on top of all your finances, shows you where you might be spending too much money, where you could be saving money, make sure all your investments are on track. Don't leave money on the table. Monarch helps with that. Again, you can use the code DNVR, monarch.com in your browser for half off your first year, 50% off your first year at monarch.com with the code DNVR. Also named CNBC's top fintech companies in the world. Check out where you can be saving more money. Use Monarch.
Just another banger win. Great job right there. Segment 3, we're talking about the Nuggets and the other teams. Before I get to the other teams, here's the thing about the Nuggets season so far. We're in the dog days. We're in the injury portion of the season. The Nuggets have not looked like the team we believed in for several weeks now. And so it's hard. Here's the thing I'll say. My perspective on the Nuggets is I've seen their peak. It's really good. I've kind of seen enough. And I have to put it in my mind that I don't think we're going to see that peak again for probably 4, 5, maybe even 6 weeks.
Yeah.
But that doesn't change what we saw. So it's almost like the Nuggets are going to build a bigger sample size on this, what I would consider to be not the real version of them.
This is their B team.
But I do think it's going to look good. But it's just important to remember, like, if the Rockets show, if HSTN is doing the show right now, they're like, we've been better than the Nuggets for blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, but we've seen the Nuggets at full speed. And I still think they're the head of that class, even if I don't think we're going to be able to back that up for a while.
I mean, they also have they do have the head-to-head win, and you'd also have the best player in the world, which is like, as far as separating on razor-thin margins, it's a reasonable benefit of the doubt.
I think so too. But the 2 teams that I think are also good in the West, and I think the list ends here, San Antonio Spurs are 15-7. I don't think they're in that upper tier. But there is something to the fact that they have been very good without Wemby. They were very good with Wemby, and they haven't really had the 2 versions of themselves together, Fox, Wemby, Castle, Vassell. They haven't really seen the sample of that. And I think there's a chance they're just better than we're giving them credit for. Regardless, I don't put them in the top tier, but I do put them in the next one. I just think they're a lot better than even the Warriors, and where the Warriors are, I still think they're better than those teams. I think that's a new revision I have to my coming into the season predictions.
I agree. I've come around a little bit on the Spurs, and I think the reason is because one of these, there's a theme of this season, and I feel like it's a theme of the NBA in this era we're in right now. Size and youth wins. And especially youth is not what it used to be. Like, remember when there was narratives out there and you got into the playoffs and you're like, young guys just can't play in the playoffs. You gotta, go through your trials and tribulations and you gotta lose in the playoffs before you can even do anything there. I just feel like that's not really the case anymore. And
I think it is true in the playoffs a little bit.
But it's the Thunder.
Yeah, but they had been in the playoffs,
Yeah, true. I mean, that is a valid point. They had lost in the playoffs before they really made their run. But I just don't think it's as true as it was, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. And the youth part in the regular season is like teams play so fast, offenses are so good, the injuries are at an all-time high. Youth has an advantage. And just like this Spurs team is so young.
Yeah.
You got these guys flying around. Like when the Nuggets played the Spurs the other day, like Vassell can just go nonstop all game.
Yeah.
He doesn't get tired. Castle, when he's healthy, is the same way. They just got these young guys with size and length. And I just think that's more valuable today than it's ever been. And so I just think it's a reason why you got to put them up here.
I also think they execute. They might be really well coached, this new fella. And I don't want to sound like a broken record with the same numbers I'm going over to, but we were just talking about clutch net ratings. The Spurs are fourth in the league with 13 games played in the clutch already with a plus 20.5 net rating. They have a game plan and they tend to execute it. And it's why they've stayed afloat, I think, even without Wemby. So the Wemby question is always like his health will hang over any season they have, like a storm cloud threatening to break, right? And they'll get him back here in a bit. But I think they're clearly not as good as the teams we've talked about so far, but they're definitively better than I think a lot of people thought coming into the year.
The other team I have is the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Mm-hmm.
They're 15-8 and they have won 5 in a row. They got off to a slow start. They didn't look phenomenal, but they're starting to catch a little bit of a rhythm. And they've had enough changeover, in their roster that I think it makes a little bit of sense that they're trying to figure out the new identity that they have with some of the pieces. They beat San Antonio. They beat Boston, which turns out to be a pretty good win. They hung close with Oklahoma City, although they lost. And then there are other games, too, against New Orleans and the Clippers. Not exactly the most impressive wins. But nonetheless, 15-8. I don't think they're in the top tier. But I do think that if they were a 6 seed and Denver was a 3 seed, there was coming into the year, I was like, oh, that's scary. Then it was like, I think Denver's just better. They figured them out. I think it's back to being like, yeah, Denver should win that series. I would love it, honestly, because I think there's something to exercising your demons, getting some revenge. But at the same time, I think it would be a tough out.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah.
I think so. I don't think it's quite the same matchup edge as it once was. Having lost Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Conley being older and all that. And they just don't feel like even Randall, who's been really, really good, specifically the Towns Gobert pairing was very effective against Jokic in combination with their small army of perimeter defenders. That whole equation just feels different now, especially when Rudy's off the floor. They're not defensive stalwarts. They are climbing back up. They're at 11th now in defensive rating, but that used to be their calling card, right? It's that they were elite defensively. I don't know if they still are. I think they're probably going to hang around, right, in this tier you talked about. I don't think they're an easy out for anyone. But if the Nuggets drew them, I would pick the Nuggets this time around, at least 23 games in.
And they're also going to make a big trade, too.
Yeah.
The Timberwolves, I think, out of any Western Conference team. Yeah, for sure. Because I think, yes, they're a little hot right now, but I think it's pretty obvious they're not even close to, the Thunder or the Rockets or the Nuggets or I feel like they know that. And that's an organization, an ownership group that isn't afraid to take a big swing.
Outside of that, though, I think the rest of the teams in the NBA or in the West might not be too scary. You got the Phoenix Suns at 13-10. I think they're a tough out. I mean, they're going to give you something. But if Denver matched up with them in a playoff series, I'm sorry. In a playoffs, it's just like...
It's probably 5 games still, I think.
Yeah, you're going to take care of that. I think the Warriors, they do look too old. They're too fractured, too injured. I think with full speed, at full strength, they have a great punch.
Yep.
But you're already looking at... Camille got a DNP last night. And they're shorthanded. They're down a bunch of guys, and he got a DNP. Pods seems unhappy. Everybody seems unhappy with him. To me, they're just. I would be shocked if they got it together. Steph, Draymond, Jimmy Butler, they're all scary players. but I just wonder if it really truly has expired with them in a way that clearly below.
I think so.
I will say, though, if Denver gets matched up with Golden State in the first round, especially if Golden State surges like they did last year.
If the Warriors are healthy, yeah.
It's scary. In the playoffs, it's scary. Absolutely. But if Denver lost to the Warriors in the playoffs this year, it's like there's no questions asked. That's a disappointing year.
Oh,
Disaster.
of course.
You can't.
That's disaster.
You have to beat that team.
You have to beat them.
Yeah.
The Memphis Grizzlies, I think, are sneaky good with Zach Edey. But come on, let's be serious.
Sneaky good, but starting from the part where everyone thinks they're bad.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And then the Portland Trailblazers just suck now. They're not any good. I think Dallas might actually be the next team I would put in the tier. I think Dallas is good. They're not great, but I think they're actually good and what have you. The reason I like this experiment, 4 teams.
Dallas is good.
They're just hard to guard. They guard you. They're just hard. They're defensively. They are the team, and Ryan Nembhard has been legitimate. Again, here's what it is. They lost to the Mavs right at the Mavs started to kind of turn it on, and it felt like the worst loss of the year. They've beaten some good teams, man. They beat the Rockets. They beat
the Nuggets from Ball Arena.
They beat the Nuggets.
That's what I'm saying. They've won some games lately where you're like, you know what? It's just I understand how Denver lost that one now.
Yeah.
Everybody else below that, Utah, Sacramento, the Clippers, New Orleans, just absolutely atrocious teams. The reason I like this is Thunder are going to be the 1 seed. I think the best Denver can hope for now is a 2 seed. I just listed 6 teams that I thought were good. If you're a 2 seed, it means you probably are not playing one of those, and you're going to get a Phoenix, a Golden State, a Memphis. That's phenomenal because I think you can and should beat all of those teams. But if you are a 3 seed, you might face up with a Wemby version of the Spurs in the playoffs or your rival Minnesota in the first round before going on the road in the second round to either the Lakers or Rockets. If you just start talking about, I love the Nuggets' chances this year. I picked them to win. 3 tough series, 2 of them on the road. It's starting to look like, at least at this very moment, that the separation is that 2 seed actually matters quite a bit.
Well, usually I feel like there's a little mystery and there's a little bit of a scare when you're lining up to play a team in the play-in, especially like in years past. Again, the Warriors could be there again this season. The Lakers are always there. And you're like, oh man, what if the Lakers are healthy? Like, what could they do? This year, you definitely want to play a team in that play-in. You definitely want that 2 seed.
I think so.
You definitely want to take your chances with a team from this Suns, Warriors, Grizzlies, Blazers group. There's going to be a massive race for the 2 seed. Down the stretch of the season.
And it might be something, too, that exhausts you. Like, we always talk about chasing the 1 seed.
Yep.
The Thunder are going to push that so far ahead that you might not have to. But you might end up chasing the 2 seed all the way to game 82. This is why these games in December matter so much. You would love for Denver to be comfortably in their 2 spot and be able to, take their to take a breath before the playoffs because it's going to be difficult.
Yeah, and I mean, you have to win your first round series convincingly, I think. Right?
I agree.
Like it's...
Get it done with.
It is the era of injuries and depth, and honestly, Denver still is at risk of both of those issues, right? Like they have depth when they're healthy, but that's a thin line, and they have guys like particularly Aaron Gordon through no fault of his own. You're worried about that long-term health, so you can't go 7 in the first round and expect to then overperform against a team like OKC in the conference finals. So yes, it matters, and yeah, that's why. As much as they are off to an objectively good start by virtually any metric, people are pretty bummed about the Kings loss and the Mavericks loss, because if that's why you're the 3 and not the 2 at the end of the year, that's going to have felt like an avoidable outcome.
And even just think about this from the other teams' perspective. If Houston has to play Minnesota in the first round, well, Minnesota's big. Houston's big, but Minnesota's not as intimidated by that. Like Julius Randle can hold his own in a physical matchup.
Yep.
Jaden McDaniels is the type of defender, one of few defenders that actually can guard Kevin Durant. That would be, even if Houston makes it out of it, to your point, that might be a 6 or 7 game series minimum. And now that's who goes on to play Denver in Denver. That would be a great scenario, as opposed to Denver being the one that has to go through a 6 or 7 game series and then go on the road for that one. If you talk about the Lakers, they get the Spurs. The Spurs are such a unique team. They are fast. They shoot a lot of threes, which is how you're going to have to beat the Lakers. You're going to have to score from there. And then Wemby just presents this problem that makes all that dribble driving that they do, makes it a little bit easy to cover. They, too, could end up going into a 6 or 7 game series. So the 2 seed, all of a sudden, very important. Luckily, Denver is in that spot now, but it's narrow. It's very, very narrow. We got to take our last break. Yep, we got one last break. On the other side, I just want to ask a simple question. What's the story of the season so far? If people haven't tuned in yet to the Nuggets this year, how would you define the season?
Okay, Harrison, you got this ad break.
Yeah, go for it, Harrison.
I'll take it away. Shout out to Shady Rays. Shady Rays, whatever the season it is, you know, there's snow on the ground right now. You still need Shady Rays. It snowed a couple days ago. Now it's 60 degrees here in Denver. ShadyRays.com. Use the code DNVR. 35% off polarized sunglasses. Rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. There's always been that moment when you're out, you know, you're with friends, you're traveling or something, and you forget your sunglasses, or you lose them, or you leave them somewhere. Shady Rays, they've changed the game because, you know, they've always got you covered. ShadyRays.com. If you lose or break your shades, they'll send you a brand new pair. No guilt trip, no questions asked, just replacements. Now you can wear your Shady Rays, you know, with confidence anywhere. You don't have to worry about losing them. ShadyRays.com. Use the code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses. If you just go to their website, they've got a color, a style, a size. No matter what type of sunglasses you wear, they've got a style for you. You can use the code DNVR for 35% off polarized sunglasses rated 5 stars by 300,000 people. Also, shout out to Toyota. We're live, of course, here in the Toyota Lounge, and Toyota is the official vehicle of DNVR. Trucks, cars, SUVs, 17 different models with available all-wheel drive or four-wheel drive, like the 4Runner. They've got, you know, more low and zero emission vehicles combined than any other automaker. So, I mean, Toyota, they are your go-to for everything. And we're also teaming up with Toyota for the Conscious Alliance food drive. We're doing that with Toyota this Sunday. Bring your non-perishables to our tailgate. Broncos Packers at Mile High. We're trying to fill up a 2025 Toyota Tundra by donating as many non-perishable food items as possible, benefiting the Conscious Alliance. So bring your non-perishables to the tailgate. We've also got a place to donate here at DNVR, teaming up with Toyota for that, for a great cause. So come out to the tailgate, donate some food with Toyota.
You can get for granted. All right, back here, final segment. Let's shift gears a little bit. It's hard to say what the story is of the season so far, in my opinion. As I was thinking about this, there's a lot of little stories, but what is the story? You're the writer over here. Vote. What's the story of the Nuggets? I haven't watched a single game. 23 games in. What's the story?
Probably that Jalen Pickett played last night.
Now we're talking. Had a pretty good last 5 minutes.
I think the story is that the Nuggets have already shown us that there's a peak of this that is what we thought it could be, which is, if you're going to pick serious contenders and challengers to what OKC's got going on, they're near at the top of that list. I think they've shown us that's true. I also think they've shown us that they have work to do, that they're a team that needs this regular season. OKC doesn't. Denver does. I think the clutch stuff, they're going to have to work that out. The defense stuff, we'll see how much health is a factor. But if that can come back down, you know, they're still, I think they have tons of talent. I think they are a buzzsaw in terms of talent right now, but they still have to smooth out some wrinkles and bumps in the execution. And I think there's a chance by the end of the year, they could be a team that's ready to compete. But they've showed us both sides of it so far. They showed us the peak and that they still got to kind of get there to show us definitively that's who they will be.
Can I push back on your assumption real quick? And I'm not sure I believe it, but I do want to push back.
Sure.
Maybe the Thunder, this is part of their sharpening. Like, I think we're like, oh, they're just good, so they win. Part of what makes the Thunder good is they never take possessions off, let alone games.
Right.
And maybe it's just the more you do that, the more that becomes who you are. Whereas the Nuggets take all kinds of quarters off, all kinds of possessions off. And we have this belief that come playoffs, they can snap in. And we have to some extent seen that before. But part of me wonders if the Thunder are becoming better right now. They're just so good that it's hard to even notice.
Might be right.
Yeah.
And the Nuggets are not. And maybe that's one of the stories of the season. We'll get to it.
I wonder if we're overthinking it, and the story of the season is just Jamal Murray's taking a leap. I mean, he averaged 21 points per game last season. He's averaging 25 per game this year. He already has a 52-point game. That's unheard of in the early season months for him. Just if you compare his October, November, December this year to years past, there's no comparison because he's looked like a completely different player.
By the way, 6.8 assists. He's up almost a full assist per game.
That's big.
And that's been big too.
Yeah. His percentages are, I mean, he's trending towards being 50, 40, 90. He's never done that before. So
you're right.
I think if you really boil it down, if you're just, talking to your buddy who hasn't watched any Nuggets games this season, and he's been like, all right, what's the story of the season? It's Jamal Murray's way better so far this year than he was last year and the year before. And that is something that changes the dynamic for this team come playoff time.
I think the Murray thing is so underrated because if he is not doing what he's doing, I mean, he's easily, I would say, won the 2 games for the Nuggets this year.
Yeah.
If you just replaced him with that old version of himself, the Nuggets are probably at best at this very moment 15-8, which is a good record. But that would have
not
put them
the best start in franchise history.
Not the best start. It's only 2 games difference, but that would put them where the Timberwolves are right now. And we have the Timberwolves outside of the top tier. Just that little difference. And even if the Nuggets have lost some games they shouldn't have, the margin for error that Denver is right now, the 2 seed or tied for the 2 seed, is a big deal. And it does give them a little breathing room that hopefully they'll be able to take advantage of down the stretch. I think that's a big one. I think for me, here's what it is. The Nuggets are the best offense of all time currently. They're the deepest version of themselves of the Jokic era, and I think their ceiling is higher than ever. I even go into the championship year, if we just talk about regular season peak, the Nuggets this year to me have been as high as at any point. Their peak has been as high. But their consistency is still a question. And unlike the Thunder, who are young, that they have found a consistency that is impressive. It's part of their story. The Nuggets, you still don't know what you're getting from them. They're going to play Sacramento on Thursday. Are they better than Sacramento?
Yes.
Are they going to win that game?
I don't know.
I don't know either. This is the Thunder. You just
Wait,
don't
is
have
it at
this.
home or on the road?
It's on the road.
Okay, yes, they're going to win.
Okay, well, there you go. Maybe. And I think that's the story of the Nuggets right now is, one, they still haven't been able to find the same consistency. Even though they're 17-6, the difference between their peak, their average, and their bad is still really wide.
Totally.
Really wide. And is that a problem? Is it something that's going to change? Is it a problem? I don't know. But to me, that would be the story. The Nuggets are better than ever. Sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Totally, man. And you are right. But isn't that the case for every team that's not the Thunder?
I mean, the Pistons are consistent right now. They're a good team. The Lakers are pretty consistent right now. You kind of know what they're getting. They're just not as good as the Thunder.
Yes, but over the course of a couple months, I feel like every team is going to experience what the Nuggets are experiencing.
It might be true. I will say, let's not compare them to this year. The top perennial contending teams, the Spurs of years past, metronome. They just kind of do it.
Sure.
There have been these teams, the Boston Celtics of the last couple of years, they're a metronome. You kind of knew what you were getting. Make or miss shots, but every night they did the same thing.
Yeah.
And Denver, it is a thing right now where I just feel like it's maybe part of their DNA and you can't change it. I just think their peaks are super high, but we might have to endure a regular season where we're constantly wondering what version we get.
I completely agree to the fellow who says he hasn't seen the Nuggets peak in defense or attack. I mean, I don't know, man. The offense is currently peaking as the best offense we've ever seen. So maybe you're right. Maybe there's more to go, but I think the offense is razor sharp right now. Sorry, what was the question you just asked me? I had my answer.
Well, it's just about the consistency of it. Maybe it's part of their DNA, and
it is. And I also think that's part of maybe some of the particular frustrations right now that have been expressed about this group is, given how the last 2 years ended, I think people wanted to see a group that came out and took literally nothing for granted.
Right.
So that what Spencer Jones described as arrogance, we kind of talked about as inconsistency. Sometimes they'll get up big. You don't see that killer instinct. I think people were just hoping to see kind of like a full extension of almost what we've seen from Jamal Murray of like, okay, whatever was going on wasn't good enough. We're not going to take anything for granted, and we're going to be the best versions of ourselves right now. They've been very, 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 very good. But I think there's a little bit of just like almost like, okay, they won a title 2 years ago. The offense is really good. They get up by 30. Everything's great. No, everything's not great. Go finish the job. Like, go get this done.
The second biggest story to me is also a pretty clear one, and it's that the Nuggets are significantly better with Jokic off the court.
Yep, the depth. Just the depth. Yep.
That to me is number 2. Last year, negative 9.3 net rating with Jokic off the court. This year, negative 2.2.
That's incredible.
That's
Negative 2.2 is great.
Massive jump.
Yeah.
And we said this all off season. If they could go even in the non-Jokic minutes, I mean, they're going to win every game almost. If they can go just -2, -3, -4, they're in a great spot. And that's what they're doing. Getting a real backup center, fortifying the bench. The bench can still be better too, I think. But right now it's proven to be good enough and it's exactly what they've needed coming off last year. So, and I mean, that also goes into them having the greatest offense of all time and so many other things. But I mean, if you boil it down to something simple, them being so much better in the non-Jokic minutes is a top story.
And I think my biggest concern at all, like as far as stories and storylines go, is I think this team, when healthy, is good enough to go give anyone a hard time, including OKC, even though I think OKC should be the prohibitive favorites. My concern is simply that they won't. At this point, I'm concerned about the health. Is this just the way it's going to be with this group going forward? And that is concerning. But I do think that they showed us they're highly competitive when whole.
I think all of these things are very true. The depth in general, also, one thing that I think is underrated about this season so far, because it's a regular season and you don't notice this in terms of matchups, there's a lot more Jokic lineups you can go to. Last year, it really was the starters, and then you had the Russ Jokic lineups that worked because of the two-man game. But it wasn't like you had even Peyton Watson last year wasn't thought of as, oh, they're going to the Jokic-Peyton lineup combo or whatever. I do feel that way this year. I feel that way about Tim Hardaway Jr., even Bruce Brown to an extent. Mm-hmm. The Nuggets can mold themselves in a playoff setting, and it's going to be one of the big stories when CB gets back and Aaron Gordon, but mostly CB of, yeah, but is that the best option tonight? Or is tonight it's Tim Hardaway Jr. or Peyton Watson or Bruce Brown? And it's a question that feels like a negative, but it's not. It's not because CB isn't good enough. It's that the Nuggets have other options to go to, even rotations in playoff series. If you just think about poor Michael Malone in years past, or last year David Adelman, as you try to build out a 48-minute rotation for game 3 of a playoff series, you're constantly stuck with, yeah, but if I play him there, what do I do over here? What do I do? Right now, it doesn't feel that way. Oh, Tim Hardaway Jr. is going to play more with Yoke. That's fine because Christian Brown's now going to play more with Big Val.
Yeah.
And I think that's a big story of the Nuggets season.
Yeah. They have optionality, man. They got different lineups they can go to. I mean, Tim Hardaway Jr., I feel like, is a massive story himself.
Yeah, totally.
He's been incredible.
Yeah.
Like, Tim Hardaway Jr. has completely changed, obviously, the dynamic of the bench, just having a dangerous shooter who's not afraid to let it fly and has been really just efficient shooting the ball this season. But you can also mix him in with any lineup, too.
Yeah.
And he's just a weapon.
The story for me over the next 3-4 weeks, really through the end of this month, this calendar month, is can the Nuggets become a little bit more consistent, especially defensively? What's their approach like night to night? I do feel like they win a lot with heroics of Jamal and Yoke. And sometimes that's why you're superstars. You're supposed to win that way. Mm-hmm. But I do wonder if they can find a rhythm over this next little bit that makes you feel like, hey, you know what? They didn't win with spectacular play. They won because of their identity, and they did the things that they win with.
I actually did feel like before the injuries, I saw some of that.
I agree.
I felt way more comfortable about that part of it. And yes, since those guys have gone down, they've really leaned hard on these top 2 guys, which is part of the concern about the injury, right? Like, you're so excited about the depth so that these guys don't have to play Superman. And so far they have. So that's concerning. But I think when whole, they're capable of more of what you just talked about.
We have any super chats today, Dion? People talking to us? Just one today. What do they got to say?
Spencer says, vote, brother. You got to switch from soy to oat milk.
Dude, oat milk is like, I got to think it's terrible for you just because it's so good.
Really?
Oat milk? Yeah.
I'm going to Google it.
I don't know anything about it, but it's so good. There's no way it can be any good for you at all.
You want to try it out and report back to us?
Soy milk offers more protein and fat, while oat milk is higher in carbs and sometimes added sugars.
That feels like not good.
So I'm going to go with soy milk.
Well, I was going to say,
no, oat milk's just too good
for you?
Yeah.
Well, oat milk has been presented as this substitute for soy or for regular milk. It's just, it's not good. It can't be good for you.
It can't be good for you.
It's got to make your drink significantly more unhealthy.
I think you're right about that.
But it tastes damn good.
Yeah.
You should try it, though, just once.
I will.
What do you guys have planned for yourself this week with only one Nuggets game? What are you going to do with yourself? Are you excited for this little reset?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
I'm excited for Nuggets
personally,
practice.
It'd be nice to see my family a little bit. But for the Nuggets, the more important thing, to get some practice time. I'm sure they'll have a couple practices here.
At least one.
One, maybe 2.
Yeah, maybe 2.
And I thought Vogt brought up a great point on the post game last night.
That's not a real fact.
What?
It's not a real fact.
It doesn't matter. It's hilarious.
Extremely debunked, but it is really funny. Soy milk is all estrogen.
Right
yeah.
Vogt said last night that because the Nuggets only have one game this week.
Yeah.
That's a week of the 6 weeks that Christian Brown's out for.
Very
Right,
big deal.
Exactly.
So
We're got to go to overtime, by the way. I don't know if you got to hit the button over there, Dion, but we got to go to overtime.
I mean, at this point, we could really just end
We
the
probably
show.
could have, but you were in the mid-sentence. But you were mid-sentence.
This was
so-
not an important enough point to keep the show going. We did just get another super chat, okay? But him getting a week counted towards his injury,
Yes.
where they only play one game, that's pretty big.
It is a pretty big
Because
deal.
you're usually like, oh, okay, they'll play 3 games in a week. But
Right.
I mean, it is funny to think, as much as the tournament, the cup would have been great, you do get this break with 1 game in 8 days. And it's like, man,
Yeah.
Nuggets are going to
And
really
I
love that.
did go back before the show. I was like, man, AG's been out a while. I wonder if we're getting up to the 6-week mark. No,
Nope,
we're not close.
Not even close. Yeah,
It's been like 2.5
Yep.
or something.
The AG one is moving like slow.
I know.
Dude.
I was like, have we hit like 4 weeks? No.
He's missed 12 games, though, I believe, at this point, or 11, but he got injured 3 minutes into the other one. So we're moving. We'll see.
Yeah, I mean, unlike you guys, I don't have a family, so I could do more games, but I think the Nuggets could use a break. Pork Knuckle James. Hi, vote. Hey, Adam.
Doesn't count.
Doesn't count, but
Doesn't
hello,
count at all.
Pork
Thank you for
Knuckle
the super
James.
chat.
The
But
thought counts, though.
yeah.
Nuggets fan 5280. Just want to say what's up, guys. Was at the bar all day yesterday. If you have not been, it's a must go.
Oh, we appreciate it, man.
And he was
Thank you
there for the
that.
first day in history, fellas, that all 3 of the Broncos, Avs, and Nuggets won on the same calendar day.
That was the first time that's ever
first
happened?
time
There's no
in
way.
history. All 3 have played 11 total times on the same
That's
day.
it? Only 11 times?
And all 3 were on the road, by the way, this time. And this is the first time ever all 3 have won.
Man, the bar was popping. I got to give a shout out. So people don't know about the bar. I mean, this place does have a soul to it. We try to build a company that has a soul to it. But one thing I'll say about this bar, there are a lot of bars out there, some with a really big budget and great location, all this different stuff. Our bar has the people that work here, man, I really love them. We got all these
also, like,
bartenders
the
through.
bar is owned by like the DNVR family.
Yeah.
Like it's not owned by some corporation
Yeah.
out there that runs all these different bars. It's just us.
And the people that work here, man, are like really good people. They like care
Yeah.
a lot about it. You could work at a lot of different places, a lot of different bars. One thing I love about our bartenders, they're like legitimately excited to be part of this whole machine, you know? So
Yes.
people come in here and ask to come see it, and they're all excited
Yeah.
to show it to them and stuff, and, you know, ask questions about what's going on at DNVR. It's a really special place. So we appreciate when people come out here. And then you get organic promos like that from somebody who came out here. It really is special. Get out here and support the local businesses. I guess that means we'll see you Thursday. Hit the like button for us on the way out. See you tomorrow.
We all silly like the mayor.